Hello guys and welcome back to Zivi's Film Club.
Film, sort of.
I said film in question marks because what we're reviewing is not really a movie, but it's based on a movie. It's a show on Cartoon Network. It uses Flash animation, and it is drum roll. The Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs cartoon. Just kidding. Unikitty.
Unikitty!
Yes, there was a Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs cartoon, if you're wondering.
Oh gosh. I guess it was really, really good.
And if you didn't know, Unikitty is a Teen Titans Go like show.
Why?
Because it has 5 main characters. They all live in an apartment that's sort of resembles them. Like, for example, the Teen Titans live in a giant T building. Followed from the original series. Well, Unikitty and their pals live in a giant Unikitty building.
It's shaped like Unikitty?
Yes.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And it's also a comedy.
Yes. And
The
it's very
difference
shouty.
is...
And I'd like to sing the opening song.
I thought you were annoyed by that.
Whee! Not fun!
Anyways, now that season 1 has ended, let's review season 1. The stories can be pretty basic.
Yeah.
Like for example, like they're not generic, but they're overly simple per se.
Yeah, very simple.
Like for example, Puppycorn has no friends, so he needs so he makes a friend of his own. Richard has back problems, so he has his pals do the work.
I didn't see that episode.
Do the work. Crocodile has a crush on Dr. Fox, and he doesn't tell him that he has a crush.
That's nice.
And those were the plots of episodes 7, 8, and 9. But they do go above and beyond. But the series does manage to go above and beyond with its action scenes.
Oh.
You see, to balance out all of the simple plots you'd usually find Saturday morning cartoons and all of the color and noise, Unikitty has 10 times the action you'll need.
Woo!
If you've seen the Lego movie, which is most likely you have,
you'll
know that Unikitty's main trait is that she's so built on happiness that whenever she gets angry, she gets really angry.
Oh yes.
Well, there's no exception here, but being established outside the timeline, this show allows for even more creativity. Like a giant robot fight entirely built by Dr. Fox, or Crocodile fighting the eagle later.
Oh, I like the one with the crocodile's nemesis.
That was the one!
That's the eagle?
Yes!
Okay. Thanks, Steve. You see, I remember. Okay.
As for the humor, some of it is just dry and it doesn't really work.
Okay.
Like, as a cartoon, the show does use some stereotypes. The gentleman, for example, side characters, and etc. But sometimes it does work. Yeah, some of the lines I found kind of funny.
Cool. You enjoyed it, right?
Yes, like, spoilers. In the final episode, there's this one recurring gag where Dr. Fox appears in a flash ahead, a term used to describe an event he thinks will happen later.
Mm-hmm.
And gets more and more violent each time.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no blood, but in the final time they show that Flash had, Unikitty and Puppycorn aren't even in the seats. Like they're dead.
Yeah. That's when he realizes that.
Yes. As for the morals, while they are good, I think they're not too subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Like never give up, be determined, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I
We know
think
those.
they're hammered on the head too much.
Oh, yes.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
To conclude,
Mm-hmm.
the story does have its weak points, but it does have its good points as well. Now on to the animation.
But quickly, because it's...
I know it's getting late. We did this yesterday.
Yes.
It was basically the same thing yesterday.
I'm sorry. Okay, animation. Continue. It's okay. The rice is already prepared.
Like most shows in this day and age,
Mm-hmm.
this show uses flash animation. A special type of animation between that is between hand-drawn and CGI, where it's not too modern but not too old either.
Okay. And it's not 3D.
Yes, but a lot of shows have been using this method quite poorly, but a lot of shows have been doing it quite well.
Such as
Many people have
Samurai Jack.
gushed about the animation of shows like Steven Universe, Gravity Falls,
Samurai Jack.
We Bare Bears.
We Bare Bears! I love We Bare Bears. One of my favorites.
Why do you love it so much?
That's for another video. I don't know. They're bears and they do funny things. So, yeah.
And dare I say, the animation here is pretty good.
Yes, you dare.
For the most part, the effects are very good. And the character animation is very swift as well, allowing for all sorts of natural movements, as well as slowing it down sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sometimes. But just because animation can be good doesn't mean it can be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And this is no more evident than with the character designs.
Yeah.
I get what they were going for by making each character look like a Lego,
Mm-hmm.
but it would have worked much better in CGI. And here, the characters just look uncanny.
Yeah, they look strange.
Specifically, Crocodile.
Mm-hmm. Did you notice that we see less of Crocodile in the latest episodes?
Yeah, I didn't see him at all in episode 17, and Richard was only there for a cameo in the song. Yes, there are some songs.
Yeah.
I won't address them though,
Okay.
because I don't think that's what they make in the show.
Yes. Okay.
And the backgrounds can be quite beautiful. Like in episode 6, we see this giant like icy fortress, and since the episode is called Fire and Ice, it really fits.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Also, in episodes 12 and 16, I think, we get to visit Frowntown. And it's very desolate, dark, and lacking color in contrast to the bright and colorful world of Unikingdom.
Yes.
But that's probably the biggest problem with the backgrounds. Unikingdom.
Unikingdom?
It's
Is
just
that
a
thing?
generic forced background that we see for most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're indoors, it is much better.
Okay.
To conclude, the animation may have its problems, but it did a pretty good job. Especially for Flash animation. When you have shows like Johnny Test
Oh God.
and
Regular show.
what? You didn't like the animation in that show?
I didn't like anything about that show. It scarred me for life.
Okay. But that's two for another video.
Thank you. Okay. We should do video about...
We Bear Bears and Ringo show.
Yeah.
And now on to the characters. Starting off with Unikitty,
Mm-hmm.
the best moments are when she snaps
Yeah.
and all that. Because that's when they really get into the good stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's when she gets really powerful. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Like in the
the other characters
episode.
and a few of the other 5 main characters don't really matter. Like Puppycorn just acts as your generic 9-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it doesn't make fart jokes and all.
Yeah.
Let's be glad for that.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't have much personality aside from screaming a lot, although that's a staple of the show,
Yeah. Well.
and liking video games.
Okay. So he's a puppy that likes video games.
Oh, and he also likes some other things 9-year-olds would like.
Okay.
Hagana and Richard are what are essentially the greatest parts.
Mm-hmm.
They combine the action and the fact this is more than just a regular girls show and make it all the more worthwhile.
Okay.
As for the main villains, Master Frown is just a generic villain. I do like his voice though.
Mm-hmm.
As clearly shown in episode 3 with his song. And Brock is his assistant. He's pretty boring and he doesn't really have a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. As for the other side, the characters, they don't really matter.
What about Dr. Fox?
I already talked about Dr. Fox is just there to bring some generic scientific mumbo jumbo
That's right.
into there.
Funny and half funny science jokes.
Half funny.
Semi-funny, yes.
I really like the joke at the end though.
Yeah, the experimenting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And as for the other characters, I guess they're there. I guess they do fine. But they don't really matter.
Yeah, not really memorable.
I do like the voice acting though.
Yeah, good.
It can go everywhere from being really happy and cheerful to really loud to really angry and
Right. So
And
it's loud all the time.
it has many emotions to be sure.
Yes.
Especially in Fire and Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's not Fire and Nice, it's Fire and Nice. Where we find some of Unikitty's other emotions, like the bored side
Mm.
or the sad side.
Yeah.
To conclude, Unikitty is a decent show, and speculations for season 2, including the show starting off with cavemen,
Mm-hmm.
because spoiler alert, the final episode ends with a meteor crashing on the
I
main
see
heroes.
what you mean. Okay.
Heroes. A new character might be added and might be voiced by a YouTuber. We find out where he comes from, where the other characters come from, what music does he like, etc., etc. So those are my
Okay.
speculations for season 2. But as for season 1, I give the story 6 out of 10.
Mhm.
Animation 8 out of 10. Characters 6 out of 10. Overall 6.2 out of 10.
Not too
It's a
shabby.
decent show.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We need to lower the volume a little, but that's about it.
But seriously though, only 17 episodes. That isn't enough.
Yeah, and they're very short.
Bye.
Bye, guys.